Hey everybody, welcome back. We've discussed episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then those other ones, 4, 5, and 6. All fun, all good, except for the prequels. We have issues, whatever. So, we're going to discuss now, before the movie comes out, and this might come out when the movie's already out, whatever. This is our thoughts before we see the movie, so it doesn't matter. Episode 7, and then anything else we want to talk about regarding, like, future movies coming up. So, we'll be discussing characters, we'll be discussing what we want to see, what we don't want to see, stuff like that. I'm going to put a link in the chat right now for those of us who want to kind of keep up on the character list so we know who we're talking about and can place names to faces. With that, trailers. So what do you guys think of the trailers we've seen so far?
I think they're pretty awesome, honestly. Like, I've only seen a few because, as I told you, and I guess I'll restate it because we now have, like,
Video recordings. Or audio, yeah.
I haven't actually been keeping up with Star Wars stuff for one only reason, and that's that I don't want anything spoiled for me. Because I want it to be as good of an experience as I can make it. Because this will be the first time that I've ever seen a Star Wars movie in theaters.
That's fair, that's fair. God, you're so young!
For me, I've been trying to keep up with it a little bit, not read too much, because my thing is I don't want to get too hype. Because I know if I get too hype, I'm going to have my expectations set too high, and then I'm going to be disappointed. So I've kind of just, seen bits and pieces, but not gone too far or too little. So, but from what I've seen in the trailer so far, they're all right. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I actually have some hopes for these movies.
You might say a new hope.
Oh.
That was good, that was good.
Well, I know that we're going to be talking about certain expectations, so I'm just going to throw this out here. I want some more Jar Jar.
Damn it, Matt! No!
I want less Jar Jar.
That's
never
the
gonna
last,
end.
No Jar Jar.
That's the last joke. I swear that's the last Jar Jar joke.
I don't believe you.
You probably shouldn't.
See, here's what's going to happen. Episode 7 is either going to have the true, evil Darth Jar Jar in there somewhere, or you're going to see a dead Gungan somewhere.
I'm okay with that one.
Either way, you were going to get a better series overall, so have at it.
Okay, now that we've continued with the Jar Jar jokes, let's get some serious talk.
Okay, so, Aaron, Ryan, anything you want to add to the trailer discussion?
I've seen the trailers. I am cautiously excited. I am cautiously optimistic. Because, everything that I've seen so far looks really good. I have faith in J.J. Abrams and his vision of my beloved series, so I think it's gonna be great. I don't wanna be disappointed when I get there. So I wanna be cautiously optimistic.
That's kind of how I feel right now, where it's like I'm excited, but I'm like, I don't want to get overly excited because of how episodes 1, 2, and 3 went.
My overall thought is, I'm more optimistic for this than I am for Batman vs. Superman. So,
Yeah.
That should tell you something.
By the way, just as a funny thing, I was reading through the character guide, and they do mention younglings in here instead of children.
I know.
It lives!
It does, and I'm sad. But
Lol.
with that being said, yes, we do have a character list up here because they don't really mention character names in the trailers from what I understand, correct?
They're doing it on purpose.
I know. But that being said, though, we have just first names for most of them, except for the bad guy, and we don't really know who he's related to anyway. We have theories, but we're not going to get into those just yet. So let's start with the first guy, the one we all know from the trailers, the Black Stormtrooper known as Finn. So, yeah. That's our first guy to talk about.
Yeah,
What do you guys
dude,
think of this guy
Finn.
so far?
Well, first I'm going to discuss the whole, people just getting butthurt that
There's been a lot of butthurt about this.
Oh, there's
Like,
so much butthurt.
Why do you give a shit?
Serious.
You guys heard the story about a guy who actually, some kid who committed suicide over that, right?
Wait, there's
Yep.
a kid who's killed him?
Yeah, there's apparently some suicide thing that happened I read about where he's like, yeah, there's a black guy in main character of Star Wars. I'm done. Done.
Okay, I know,
Pardon?
suicide's, a bad thing, but dude, isn't that taking it to an extremism?
Like, I refuse to mention his name, partly because I don't remember it, but also because I don't want to give him any kind of attention for doing something so dumb.
Yes,
Like,
stupid.
really?
Get out of here.
Like,
It's
really?
not like he's going to be able to enjoy the attention.
No, but I don't want to give that whole thing he did more attention by drawing the name to it. Like, I know the event, I know what happened, or at least I read it happened, so I don't want to just give it more spotlight than it deserves.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
did anybody commit suicide when Samuel L. Jackson became a Master Jedi in the
But
movie?
he wasn't a main character, though.
No, but he was a pretty big ass character in episodes 2 and 3. Actually, he was present in all 3 episodes.
Like,
Well,
here's...
The thing is, though, this party's over, and that's why no one made a big deal about it.
Okay, so...
Uh,
Okay, so I think... Now that I think about it, though, I think I can come up with an understanding of why people are kind of butthurt about it, but still, it's still a stupid reason no matter what.
Now, I do have a question, though. Now, he's supposed to be a stormtrooper, which are supposed to be the clone troopers, but, like, continuing on, correct?
Actually, here's the thing. I don't know if this is, like, still canon or not. But I know at one point it was mentioned that once the Empire was formed, just civilians could join as stormtroopers. They weren't
Yeah,
limited.
they opened it up to public recruitment. So
Okay,
if you wanted to volunteer, you could get it.
I'm hoping they mention that somewhere in the new movie, just so that way it's clear to everyone who does not read the expanded universe, because otherwise that is going to be a confusing issue for those who were into the new movies, watched the old ones, and kind of just excuse it as a technical limitation, and then watch these new ones and are like, wait, what the fuck's going on?
Well, I mean, Han actually was in the Imperial Academy before he decided to become a smuggler. I mean, there's a reason they have like these things that are open. I mean, like they need a larger army to encompass their needs.
No,
So
I get you.
It couldn't have all been clones. They started that way, and then
I get you.
their main trained guys were that. But yeah,
I'm just saying, there are going to be people stupider than me who are going to question it, so...
Well, I think why people are so hesitant for it, I don't think it's a race issue. I think it's more of a, bringing back to the prequels, I think they're hesitant on just new innovations series as a whole.
I can sort of see that argument because there's a main character who's a black guy, there's a new main character who's this tough girl. Next thing you know, there's going to be a main tough character who's like a half black, half Mexican gay kid who's also Spider-Man. And you're going to have all these people complain about this.
oh
No,
my
like,
god.
I'm
good
just...
job.
I had to, a little bit.
That was good. That was
But
good.
still, that's not logical because, I mean, eventually it's going to get the series would get boring if there wasn't any innovation.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. I just wanted to point out the obvious
Yeah.
stupidity in people, so...
Yeah, I get that.
It
I'm
just makes me so mad that people are getting so angry about something it's just so stupid.
I mean,
It's so
Hashtag Miles
stupid.
Morales for Spider-Man.
I can see where it could be, like, a problem if they don't explain the whole open thing. Like, open recruitment.
Yeah, that they should probably make a heavier mention of that just to, like I said, clarify it for people who aren't as versed in it or don't have as good a memory of it, so...
But, I mean, still, we have to give some new innovations chance, whether that's a good innovation or a bad innovation. It's all about experimentation at this point.
Now, before we get on to the other characters, I do want to point out there is a spoiler. I'm not going to mention any details right here. I just see a headline here saying, rumor has Star Wars merch revealed Finn's famous father. So,
Yeah,
there's a
I saw
connection
that. I'm not looking into it.
I'm not going to click it either, but it does hint there's a connection between him and another character already established in any of the other movies. I personally want to believe...
They already have my mind, like, going on who it could be.
Now, I want to personally believe, and you guys are going to argue with me on this one, that Mace Windu did get away and this is his child.
Oh, for
I was
Pete's sake!
I was thinking more Lando.
Lando's also
I
a
was thinking
possibility,
Lando.
but I
was
want
thinking
this...
Lando.
I want that to be a thing, though.
No!
Like,
A
mean,
bunch of
thank
just
you.
bastard kids, all of which are Mace Windu's, just all over the place.
Shouting this party's over.
Yes.
party was not over.
The party never started. That's how over it is.
No. The party never stopped with Mace Windu, if you catch my drift here.
But no, there was a theory I saw that he is either Han and someone else's kid or Leia and Lando's kid. But I don't know who. I don't know any details beyond that. Those are just theories and rumors. So we're gonna move on to this next character, Rey. I think that's how you pronounce it. R-E-Y. I'm gonna go Rey. Anyone want to argue on that one?
R-E-A?
R-E-Y.
R-E-Y.
Yeah.
I think it's Rey.
Rey makes no sense. So, she's affiliated with the Resistance, apparently. She's portrayed by Daisy Ridley. I'm reading the stuff straight from the website here because I don't know anything about her other than she's on a land scooter, and that's about it. Yeah, we really don't know much about her.
And it sounds like they're keeping it secret for, again, particular reasons.
Yeah. According to this last line here, Rey is bound to become a key warrior in the battle against the First Order, which apparently it revolves around the bad guy and all that stuff, which is actually what Finn is from. He is from the First Order, but then joins the Resistance, from what we gather. So that's that. The birds are trying to hide the spoilers.
I thank them for that. I truly thank them for that. They are amazing.
Even though I haven't said any spoilers that I know of that are like super like spoilery.
It's probably something like that we've missed.
Yeah. So I guess do we want to discuss more about her, or do we want to kind of just leave that alone since there isn't much to go on at the moment?
I think we should just leave it alone, seeing how there's like nothing.
Yeah. Again, there are rumors about her parentage, but again, there's nothing concrete to go on, so we're just gonna keep going. So now we have Kylo Ren, the infamous Claymore sword-wielding cool dude guy with the 3 laser thing on his sword, the new Sith guy. We know a little bit more about him because of the trailers, especially the new one that just got revealed, where he sees Darth Vader's melted helmet, and he's like, he wants to finish what Vader started.
Okay.
So, again, this leaves much speculation as to who or what he could be, or she even. But for right now, we know there's a strong connection between him, her, and Vader, and that he is the leader of apparently the First Order. Or at least, not maybe the leader, but one of the higher-ranking affiliates of the First Order. Whatever that is. Obviously the bad guy, but we don't know what they really want.
What do they want in life? What are they looking for life?
I'm assuming they want to be first at everything. They're the guys who post first on YouTube for every video.
Oh, they're one of those assholes.
They're all a bunch of assholes. You're absolutely right. So, I guess the question now is, who do you think this guy actually is?
Okay, so what if there's like a cult of some type? Like,
A what?
What if it's a cultist? Like, or somebody similar where they've just obsessed with the lineage of the Empire.
That could be possible. A whole new character trying to be in on the whole lineage thing, I could see that. I've heard rumors as well, and again, these are rumors, so no spoilers here unless it's true, in which case we didn't know. But there's rumors that this could either be Luke having turned evil, which I kind of doubt on this particular character.
Even though that does happen in the books, I think.
From what I remember in the books, he also has a son that goes evil. So, I mean, there's options. Which is the other one I wanted to mention, is that this could also be Luke's son, or child, it could be a daughter, it could switch roles, whoever, that also goes evil. But again, we have no concrete evidence of this beyond the fact that they're connected to Vader in some way. For all we know, this could just be Vader's spirit possessing another person, so we don't know.
Okay.
The spirit of Hayden Christensen compels you.
God, no. Just no.
The will of Jar Jar compels you.
Damn it, Aaron.
Aaron, I was being a nice little dog sand vagina. It wasn't going to say anything.
I just love how you admitted it.
I'm sorry. I'm
just rolling with it.
Ryan, what do you think about this new Sith guy? What do you think about him?
I'm definitely interested. He looks pretty cool. I am completely against all the hate that the Cross Hill lightsaber was getting originally. Screw that. It's an awesome idea. Just run with it, guys.
Actually, I think they've mentioned that there's different shapes for lightsabers.
I want to see a mace lightsaber.
Not really. Okay.
Like, I mean, in swords.
Okay.
Like, I don't think they have, like, I don't think they have a mace, Aaron.
They don't.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but
I wonder if they have like a Zanbato style lightsaber,
they have a Mr. Robot. They have
like a giant greatsword.
Max, really?
Well, in the extended universe, damn it.
He says as he grinds his teeth.
Yeah, there was such a thing called dual phase lightsabers where you could change the setting and it would go from being a normal like meter long blade to being like 5.5 feet long and like a greatsword.
Nice.
Set
Yeah.
your saber from stun to kill.
Yep. From I'm going to have a really cool lightsaber duel to I am going to cut him in half right now.
See, now I want a mod for Dark Souls where my greatsword can be a giant fucking lightsaber. That'd be great. Yeah, this character's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually reveal with this character. There's so much we don't know, obviously for obvious reasons, but like I just want to see where they're gonna go with that.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of different plays. There's a lot of different ways they can do. We keep harping on about the extended universe, but truth be told, the way that they're doing it now, it means that they have pretty much the entirety of the EU to kind of pick and choose what they want to put in the movie. So that's going to be fun, at least for me, because I'll get to go in and be like, okay, so I wonder if they're basing this character on this guy, or it could be coming from this book, or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it'll be interesting to see.
So I guess my question for you then, Ryan, is with what little information we know, what is the most likely scenario for this new bad guy? A whole new person, evil Luke, or evil child of Luke? What do you think the most likely scenario is? Based on the lore of the expanded universe that no longer is canon, and just what we have from the trailers so far.
Based on it, I'm not sure if they're gonna make him like a named character from the extended universe, but my best guess is that he's gonna be one of the Emperor's hands. So, Emperor Palpatine, he had one disciple with Darth Vader, but he also made a point to find Force-sensitive people and train them to be his operatives, not to be fully trained Sith or Jedi, but to be able to use the Force while having the capabilities of an assassin. In the books, that's actually how Luke meets his wife, because his wife was one of those, and that's my guess for what Kylo Ren is going to be. I think he's going to have been hand-trained by Palpatine.
And just when you think you can get away from Palpatine's influence, he keeps pulling you back in.
He was the master. He was literally the master. If we had an hour, I could tell you everything I know about Emperor Palpatine and explain to you why he's like the best villain. He's one of the top 5 villains that I've ever seen in anything. It's fucking amazing.
I'll take your word on that one. We'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah.
We have 2 more characters to get to, or I guess technically 3 before we get to the last characters. But these guys look like they'll be quick. There's not as much stuff around them. We have what looks like to be the rebel leader, or one of the big rebel characters, which is Poe Dameron. I think is how you pronounce that. Dameron,
Dameron, I believe.
And yeah, looks like he's just an X-wing pilot.
Badass pilot. You gotta have your ace pilot in there.
But apparently he's supposed to be, quote-unquote, the black leader of and he commands a team of deadly T-70 X-Wing fighters. So, they're also known as the Black Squadron. I'm wondering how that plays into it, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's pretty cool sounding stuff so far.
Yeah, next generation of Rogue Squadron. I can see that. Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Next we have Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma.
I believe you mentioned him earlier, Ryan? Or her?
Yeah. The fan theory that I have enjoyed the most is that Captain Phasma is actually going to be the daughter of Boba Fett, or at least in some way related to Boba Fett, which I think is really, really cool because we'll get to see more of Boba Fett's influence, and we'll actually get to see a character that's tied to Boba Fett that gets to be badass. because you don't hire Gwendolyn Christie to play Captain Phasma and not have her do some badass shit.
Exactly.
So, Phasma's gonna kick some ass, and it's gonna be amazing. And at the end of the day, if we can connect that to Boba Fett, I will feel really, really happy.
Right now, the thing to point out is prior rumors have pegged this character as the Jedi Hunter or possibly an officer sent to kill Finn as he deserts the First Order. That said, neither of these have been confirmed, but these are cool rumors and cool ideas, and the armor looks pretty badass too. So.
Oh yeah.
Verily.
And the last one, the character that I think we're all most familiar with because he's been around since the very fucking beginning, is BB-8. The little robot that won't stop the marketing train.
I wanted to get like the RC version of him, but then I realized that's $108.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm like, oh man, this would be cool.
So apparently BB is connected to Poe, Rey, and a lot of the other new characters, and not so much the older characters, whereas R2-D2 is obviously the previous generation. So looks like we have a new R2-D2 here. Wonder how they're going to interact with each other if they do at all. Be kind of fun to see.
It'll be interesting.
Not sure how this robot could possibly exist, but whatever.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay.
How does his head stay connected to his body?
I'm trying to figure that out.
It makes no sense. It's cool, but it makes no sense.
Okay, so now that we're familiar with all the characters and that we know a lot of the old characters are coming back, what are our expectations and anticipations? What do we want to see with this new movie? What's the number one thing you guys want to see?
Oh.
I don't want to see Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, I didn't ask what you don't want to see, Aaron. I asked what you want to see.
Okay, I was gonna make a Jar Jar Binks joke.
No, say that for the next episode. Save that for the next episode.
In all honesty, though, what I would really, really like to see is an introduction to some some in-depth lore. Just something that will just feed me for the next 10 years.
That's called an IV drip.
Thanks.
No,
Mike.
Aaron, stop this.
Just.
I really want to see something that will get me way back into the Star Wars U. Something that will just make me get as hyped as Ryan. Ryan levels of hype.
That's gonna be tough. Ryan's hype levels are like through the roof sometimes.
You
Yeah.
know, that's really,
It's only happened once.
that's really all you can get out of life, man. You people should strive to be as happy as I am.
Oh, that's good.
As
Aaron?
far as I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Aaron, Ryan, either one of you have any expectations or things you want to see from this?
I just don't want it to be crappy.
You gotta be more specific.
Better dialogue.
If you have a wish, it's like, okay, you're on Santa's lap for whatever reason. You have a list of things you want from this movie. What do you want to tell Santa you want from this movie the most? It's gotta be something specific.
Better dialogue.
Okay, I can accept that. It's still a little vague, but I'll take it.
It's not that big.
Well, I mean, it's whatever. I'll take it.
The biggest thing that I want from this, I want to see Luke Skywalker being a badass. I really do, because Luke Skywalker single-handedly is supposed to rebuild the Jedi Order by finding new Force-sensitive people and teaching them. Like, Luke Skywalker literally becomes the Grand Master of the Jedi Order. He is like, he becomes Yoda at for everybody else. And that's what I want to see, because Luke grew so much between episodes 4 and 6. Episode 7, where we get old man Luke that gets to be beast mode, I need to see him just... He needs to blow my socks off.
Actually, that brings up another thing. Thank you, Ryan, for reminding me. That I kind of want to see just some more emotion. Like, to find 4 sensitive people, I'm assuming would be a very stressful job. I want to see that side as well. Like, Luke is kind of stressed at this point. Because, let's face it, I mean, he's probably traveling across the universe, or at least sending people across the universe to try to find sensitive people. And then he has to interview those people. I'm just saying, I think we need to see some conflict and like some major political conflict to just make it interesting.
No, we can. I can go with that. You definitely you can't have a Star Wars film without conflict. So it's gonna be good.
I'm gonna go with Max a little bit on the whole like expanding the lore, especially because I'd love to see like callbacks like Sith era stuff and old stuff that just took place well before the timeline of the movies to kind of build more history, so we can kind of go back to do movies on that stuff at some point.
Maybe we'll see a holocron.
That'd be really
An
cool.
actual Sith holocron.
That'd be so cool.
That would.
But for me personally, I just want to see. I'm trying to think of how I want to word this here. I want to see I'm trying to think of how I want to word this. So like I tend to get out of things, like out of interest of things sometimes. I want to see something that can pull me back in.
That's what I'm.
In a way that makes me like just remember why this series is good in the first place. Because I don't want to say that the prequels killed it for me, but I will say that a mixture of things have made me distance myself from that series. Like a good way to put an example to this is I went back and watched the whole Dragon Ball Super thing, and after a decade plus of isolation from the rest of the world, Dragon Ball Z has never really evolved with this new series. It's a little prettier, sure, but it never changed. It's still the same crappy writing, same crappy fights, all that stuff. I want to see what Star Wars has learned from its previous movies to make it better and to make it so it's like it can be on the same level as Avengers and Jurassic World and all that stuff this year. I want to see it compete with that stuff in a way that makes sense, not just because it's popular, because it's actually good.
Another thing, actually, there's another thing that this isn't something that I'd like to see in the movie, but as a result of the movie.
Yes.
I would like to see more just Star Wars, like, literature, new Star Wars games that are of higher quality. Like, Battlefront's taking the right step, but I kind of want, like, something similar to Star Wars, the Star Wars universe.
Star Wars 1313.
Like, did anybody else play the MMO Star Wars Online?
No, I didn't get to check it out.
I stay away from MMOs, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I'm
not an MMO guy.
It was maybe one of the most addictive MMOs I've ever played for how it did have its flaws, and I'm hoping that like with the new generation coming in that these flaws they can remake a game similar to this and also fix the flaws. But like, for instance, there was the Jedi class. You could physically become somebody's Padawan.
Nice.
In the game. Like, Aaron. Chris was my like Jedi Master in the game for a long time. And then I got angry one day because he kind of brought me into like a level 80 area when I was level 12.
So we're gonna go in this cave here and we're gonna teach you how to use the Force.
Trial by fire, go.
But like, I remember like with Star Wars Online, it was just so addictive. Like, I had a house. You could get a house. You could build a faction. You could have these houses with all these relics in it. The only flaw that was in the game was that there wasn't any deep space travel.
I would love to see a flight sim portion to a Star Wars game that actually felt really good. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, but like, does it make sense that I want to see more? Like,
yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
Products, like literature, video games, possibly some like fan movies.
I could see that. Alright, we are in the last 4 minutes of this particular video. So, let's see. What are our biggest fears going into this next movie?
Ooh.
And again, no mentioning Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, so there is a big fear for me that this movie won't be good.
No, that's your biggest fear, that it won't be good.
Well, like, I also fear that it's just going to sort of go with one storyline and not leave it open for more lore to be introduced via books. Just like little mini movies that they possibly make in the future, or
I could
TV
see that being
shows.
an issue, yeah.
Because I feel like it's going to be good, but it would be better if they just left these little subtle things that would leave it open for more lore.
No, I agree. I would say, going off that, my biggest fear for this whole series would be the constant reliance on your old characters. Like, don't get me wrong, I get why you're putting Luke, Leia, and Han back in it, even though I would rather see other characters and new characters kind of do their thing.
Yeah.
I get why you're bringing them back, but I don't want to have them rely on these guys for the rest of this trilogy, because I want these new guys to show what they can do. I want to see where these new stories go, and I feel like you're not going to get over these old characters if you keep bringing them back in.
That, and you have to also
That's a
realize
very good point.
that
That's
this-
a very good one.
for some people, this is the introduction to Star Wars for them.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
I know in the early, like, in the mid to late 2000s, there was this big surge of Star Wars, like, being Star Wars fans, especially in people my age, because our parents introduced it to us. So I think the next step is introducing the kids who were not around during that time to introduce them to the movies.
Yeah. And I think it's stronger for new people to jump in with new characters, so that way there's no lore necessarily attached to them, at least not at first, and you can learn it as you're going, and then it ties back to the older ones, then gives you a reason to watch the older ones. That way you're not forced to really see them if you don't want to just jump into them right away, because, I mean, that's a big commitment to watch, like, 9 different movies all at one go.
Yeah,
Right.
So, if you had all new, fresh new characters that just loosely tie in old characters, and then you gradually introduce more lore that ties back to them or new things in general, then it's like, I have a reason to go back to watch this old stuff, so I can make more sense of it. Not because, oh, this old guy in this movie, who is he? I need to go back and watch this shit so I can figure out who the hell this guy is.
Right.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
think
definitely.
I think I have 2 fears for the movie, honestly. I mean, one of them is shitty dialogue. That's the lesser of the 2. The other one is I really, really do not want to see Luke go dark. I do not want him to become
Anakin
a bad
2.0.
guy. Yeah, I don't want him to become a bad guy. I want him to take the higher ground and be what his father essentially couldn't be. I just think it would really... It kind of going back to what you guys are saying about we kind of want new characters, so we're not relying on the old. If you bring Luke back in as a bad guy, then it's like, yeah, you have half the audience going, oh my god, I can't believe Luke did that, and then everybody else is like, what's the big deal? There's an old bad guy, you know?
well, like,
It's another
Like-
old white villain, just like in every other movie.
like, it's kind of that, and it's kind of like, especially for like somebody who's getting right into a fandom, it's kind of embarrassing to ask lore-based questions, especially like the basics, because sometimes people just look at you like you're stupid.
Well, to be fair, some people are stupid.
Well, yeah, but like, if you're trying to get into like the Star Wars fandom, and if somebody asks you a lore-based question, I know some people who look at those people like they were idiots.
Well, like, there are people who are my age still, which is also Ryan's age, and some people even Aaron's age, who have never seen Star Wars, period. Like, they just avoid it completely somehow. And
Right.
also, and so I'm not gonna diss people who don't know the lore, because, like, you know what? Some people have managed to live their whole lives without seeing it. Kudos to them. Kudos for making it through without having ever seen one of the most popular things in the entire history of film.
Something that pop culture is almost surrounded by.
Yes. It'd be like being a kid of the 90s and never hearing or knowing of Pokemon. Like, I'm shocked that anyone in my age group would not know that at all.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
anyone
no, that's
born after the 1990s doesn't know what Pokemon is.
That being said, we have hit the half-hour mark. Ryan, you still have a fear that you can probably throw out there, though. What is your biggest fear for the upcoming films?
Honestly, my biggest fear goes back to what I've been harping on, which is the extended universe. Honestly, in all honesty, because, like, I got hooked at a really young age, and I've been reading the books ever since, like, high school, so, like, nearly 10 years for me. There are great stories in the extended universe, and I think my biggest fear is to see, like, really, really great stories just, like, completely tossed out the window or, like, directly contradicted. I think that'll just kind of hurt me inside, because it's like spitting in the face of, like, my favorite stories. I hope they don't do that, but I am also bracing myself for it.
No, I can
Because
totally understand that.
It's kind of inevitable that some of there's gonna be some stuff in the EU that just does not make it, but I'm getting ready for it.
My fingers are crossed that your non-canon fan fiction makes it in the movie somehow.
Yeah.
I kid. I actually do hope they make it in. I think that there are some cool ideas that I would love to see.
Oh, that actually brings up something I just realized. Now, this is gonna sound stupid, and it's probably not gonna be introduced at first.
Yeah.
But like, I noticed one major flaw when it came to lightsabers, and that's that they didn't really show they don't show all the colors, and they don't really go into the meanings that much. Or as I remember, they don't go into the meaning of.
You're right, they don't.
Which I think that I don't know if it's necessary, but I think it's still a cool little thing to know.
I think it's the extraneous detail that the movies just don't have time to stop for. Like, I get that it's a cool idea, and I'd love to see some of it. But I think if you did like a companion series, that'd be where you'd see it at. I don't think you'd see it in a movie.
Yeah, the companion series called Jedi Academy.
They have something called The Adventures of Jar Jar Binks, and
No, Pat, we said we weren't going to do that again.
I know I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, like they have that whole animated Rebels series. Like there are series out there that are tying to the Star Wars universe a little bit. I'd love to see something that ties to the new movies a bit, that isn't directly into the new movies, but has some tangential relation to it.
It would also be cool to see like a live action, like TV series.
Yeah, I mean I'll be okay with animation as long as the stories are good, but live action would be nice.
I mean, yeah, there's like a lot of details that they don't mention, and like, as you said before, there are like some people's original characters that would be would be really cool to see, like in canonized.
Yeah.
I suggest my OC, Jar Jar Blast.
God damn it! I saw it coming.
Son of a bitch.
I'm done. Aaron, call it.
Okay. So that has been our Star Wars discussion. We have one more video to go, and we will record that at a later date because Ryan has to sleep. But
I must sleep.
do tune in because that'll be our discussion of anything we have not covered, which includes extended universe, Star Wars lightsaber fighting styles, fan theories, including, and yes, I will admit, we will include the Jar Jar Binks theory a little bit. But we will
You
include
hear that, Mac? A little bit.
I hear a lot.
I'm gonna stab you with something.
But that'll be that whole episode, and it might go a little longer than what we've been doing with these other ones, but that's just because there's going to be so much content to discuss, so like I said, we'll do that at a later date. For now, we hope you enjoyed our first 3 discussions on just the movies themselves, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Nicely done.